It's Wednesday, the 7th of April 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. In today's headlines, interest rates are on hold, but the Reserve Bank is keeping a very close watch on the booming housing market. Plus, quarantine-free travel between Australia and New Zealand to recommence in a fortnight. The former boss of Aussie Post hits out at the Prime Minister and her former chairman. And James Packer indicates a willingness to sell his stake in Crown Resorts. Our lead story today, the Reserve Bank has left the official cash rate on hold, but warned it was carefully watching lending in the mortgage market. It triggered a surge in the local share market, which hit a 6-week high. The S&P ASX 200 jumped 1% to finish at 6,898 points, spurred on by big increases in technology stocks. The Reserve Bank said the economic recovery was well underway and stronger than expected. On housing, it said it would be monitoring trends in housing borrowing carefully, but indicated that variable rate loans and short-term fixed rate loans would remain cheap. The news came as the ANZ Job Ads Index, released yesterday, was up more than 7% last month and was 23% above its pre-COVID levels. The labour market isn't quite as hot as the property market, but it's not doing badly. So why is the Reserve Bank so pessimistic when the rest of the country is optimistic about growth? Well, it knows that the recovery is still dependent on the vaccine rollout and getting COVID-19 under control. And while housing and the jobs market are strong, other parts of the economy, notably business investment, isn't. And finally, there's still a long way to go before the Australian economy is operating at full steam, or, as the economists say, full capacity. In overseas news, Wall Street was broadly flat overnight after its surge on Monday night, but European markets were stronger, led by London's FTSE index, which closed at its highest level in 3 months. The International Monetary Fund has forecast that China will drive growth in coming years, with more than 20% of global GDP coming from the world's second largest economy over the next 5 years. The US and India will be the next 2 biggest contributors, followed by Japan and Germany. The IMF has forecast the global economy will grow by 6% in 2021. And the Singaporean central bank has warned retail investors against trading in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The city-state has one of the biggest financial markets in the world, and the chairman of the Monetary Authority of Singapore warned that cryptocurrencies were highly risky investment products. Bitcoin has again surged in recent days and is trading at close to 3-week highs. Locally, quarantine-free travel between Australia and New Zealand will recommence from April 19, with New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern saying it was an important step forward in her country's response to COVID. But she also said flyers should be aware that the situation could change at any time. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said it was a tremendous first step towards normalisation of international travel. Qantas and Jetstar will operate 122 services a week from April 19 on 15 routes, and media reports suggest sales have been very strong. Virgin Australia said it won't be restarting New Zealand flights until September as it attempts to re-establish its position in the Australian market, having fallen into administration during the COVID-19 pandemic. Air New Zealand has already scheduled flights to a bunch of Australian cities. The announcement triggered a jump in travel stocks. The former chief executive of Australia Post, Christine Holgate, who stepped down after buying Cartier watches as bonuses for staff, has alleged the chair of the group lied to Parliament and accused him of destroying her career. Ms Holgate said she's needed mental health support and medication since she was forced out in November last year. Ms Holgate also said she was humiliated by Prime Minister Scott Morrison in Parliament. The comments were made in her submission to a Senate inquiry about her exit. Cleanaway Waste Management has agreed to buy French giant Suez's Australian business for $2.52 billion, subject to Suez's parent company in Europe being taken over. Suez in Australia employs more than 2,000 people and has 6 operating landfill sites and 59 collection and depot facilities. It generates about $1.4 billion worth of revenue each year. James Packer has indicated he's open to selling his $3 billion stake in Crown Resorts to US private equity firm Blackstone, and his holding company, Consolidated Press Holdings, said it had asked investment bank Moelis Australia to look after the 37% stake during the takeover battle. Blackstone has made an $11.85 a share bid for Crown, valuing the group at $8 billion, and Mr. Packer's stake is critical to any deal. And finally, McWilliams Wines, which has been operating for more than 140 years, will be split into two under a proposal to save the company from liquidation. The Mount Pleasant Winery and assets will become independent, as will the McWilliams Handwood business. Importantly, the McWilliams casks will remain on sale. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you hit follow so you get it every morning. And if you'd like more detail and more stories, search for our full Fear and Greed podcast. Today, it also includes an interview with Fight Centre founder and global boss, Graham Screw Turner. I'm Sean Aylmer. Have a great day.